feeling great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of need. Welcome back to the Immigration Answer Show. My name is Jim Hacking. This is episode number 772 of the Immigration Answer Show. How's everybody doing? Today is Thursday, February 27th, 2025. Can you believe that February ends tomorrow? Tomorrow's the last day of February, and it's also the day before Ramadan starts. So Ramadan starts on Saturday. So Saturday it is. Ramadan is upon us. Hello, Fatuma. How are you doing, sweetheart? Ramadan Mubarak. Hope you're well, Fatuma. All right. I'll be here for the next hour. It's funny when I do these early shows, sometimes later in the day, I feel like I almost didn't do a show. So I will do 30 shows in Ramadan. I don't know if I'll do 30 shows in one show every day. I might do two shows a couple days to make up because I have to travel. And we're also getting ready to file that lawsuit, and that might send me to some strange schedules. I think we will post the link to the waiting room. Let's see if Hina posted it yet. Yep, Hina has posted that. Hello, Hina. Thanks for helping. Hello, everybody on TikTok land. Hello, everybody out in YouTube. I'm going to go ahead and get this show started. I say hello to everybody in the comments. Thanks for saying hi. If you're new to the show, let us know where you're watching from, and we'll get to you. Carlos, I see you have your last name on there, so I'll change that, and I'll and when you get off camera, I'll call you up. But first, I'm going to call Rocky. So we're not using anybody's last names, and we're not putting anybody on camera. All right, Rocky, how are you?
Fine, Jim. How are you?
Great.
I've got a question for you. My wife came here on a K-1 visa back in 2008. We filed the I-29 and the adjustment of status, and it was approved. We had an interview for the AOS, and the officer that was interviewing us told us that we would receive a 10-year green card, which we did. Fast forward about 2 years, I started talking with some people that were in the same situation that we was. And I think from the rules and what I've read that we might have got this 10-year green card in error. So just to be on the safe side, I filed for the removal, the I-751 at the 2-year mark. It was returned to me, and they said I didn't need it because we already had a 10-year green card, but we had only been married about a year at that time. And I called and spoke with I think they call it a tier 2 agent at USCIS, and they told me everything was fine as well. I done everything I could, and like I say, we've had it since 2008. Well, now my wife wants to maybe become a citizen, and I just don't know whether to go ahead with that, or should I be worried what might happen, or what?
So has USCIS ever receded your 751s that you tried to file?
Yeah, like I say, I sent it in, and they returned it and stamped it and put an IF1 on it and said we didn't need it.
Right. But on the day that you got your green card, that she got her green card, you were married less than 2 years, right?
Yes, about a year and 3 months.
So you're correct. So she cannot get her citizenship until you get the conditions removed.
Okay, but that's been like I say, that was in 2008. I mean, how would that work if?
Well, so here's what I would do if I were your lawyer, and I think you might need a lawyer to get them to pay attention to this. Okay. So what I would do, so you can file for a 751 late. Now, obviously I'm going to take the position you didn't file it late because number one, they screwed up your green card, and number two, her green card, and number two, you tried to file a 751 and they rejected it. But what should have happened when they rejected it is that's when you really should have hired a lawyer, because just because they rejected it doesn't mean she's relieved of the duty to file the 751. So she has to get that on file. You cannot become a citizen unless that's on file.
Okay, well, what would that do?
Unless that's approved, I should say.
Yes. Well, I mean, since it's been so long, would that throw up a red flag or something? Or, I mean,
and again, that's why I think you need a lawyer. So you need to explain to them why you're filing it late. Again, we're not going to concede that you're filing late, but it is late. So we're going to write a letter explaining, hey, Rocky's wife got a 10-year green card, thought that she was good to go, but then later on figured out that she needed to file a 751. I assume you still have the rejected 751?
Yes, I do.
So we would scan that in and say, look, they tried to file it, even though you idiot sent them a 10-year green card. They did what they were supposed to do and tried to file a 751, and you rejected it. Well, here's another 751, and they're still married. They're still going strong. They've been together for a long time now. You need to give her a proper 10-year green card. And then what I would do, Rocky, is I would wait 6 months after you get that receipted, and then I'd file for citizenship right away, because it's the citizenship that's going to move that case, not the 751 will just sit there for 2 or 3 years. But if you file for citizenship, it'll make things go faster.
So I'll file for the 751 and then wait 6 months and then file for citizenship?
Yep, 6 months after receipt. After you get the receipt, the trick is going to be they might send back that 751 again. They're that dumb. So you might have to keep pounding on them until they actually receipt it. You need a receipt, and then after it's receipted, 6 months later, I'd apply for citizenship, but under the 5-year rule, not under the 3-year rule.
Okay, well, what would happen once I do that and she has her 10-year green card? Yeah. Would that throw her out of status, so to speak, or how would that work?
Oh, she hasn't done anything wrong. So, I mean, in theory, the one other thing you could do, file an I-90, which is something you could have done when you got the 10-year green card instead of the 2-year green card. You could have filed a 990 to get a replacement green card, but I think that's overkill right now. I would do the 751, and like I said, get it receipted, and then I would file for citizenship for her.
Okay, would you wait to after, I mean, with the political quote things that are going on now, would you say wait till after all of this is passed, so to speak?
Nope. You want to get that thing on file right now. One other thing that we should say while this is all going on is I wouldn't leave the United States during any of this, okay, until she has her proper 10-year green card and or her citizenship.
Okay, well, we thought everything was okay because we already renewed it once. So
how long has she had it?
She's had the 10-year green card since 2008.
Wow, that's crazy. All right, well, thanks for the call, Rocky. Good call.
All right, thank you.
Bye, buddy. That's a bit of a mess. I think technically filing a 750 an I-90 might be a good idea as well, but man, that's a lot of work just because they made a mistake. Carlos, if you turn off your camera, I'll pull you up next. All right. Hi, Donna. How are you? Big up to all the immigrants, especially the Yardies. I think I have to agree with that. Hello, Carlos. Carlos, hello. Carlos is out of here. All right, let's go to Love and Sunshine. Hello.
Hi, Jim. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine. Quick question. A friend of mine received a second biometric interview. She did one in November and she got her EAD card. And now she got notice that she's to do a second biometrics. Also, is it true that if you get a second biometrics, that means your green card is coming in the mail?
No. I don't know what it means. I don't know what it means. I would imagine most likely what it means is that they made a mistake on her system and they accidentally sent her a second biometrics notice. I think that's all that it means.
Okay. So just to be safe, you think she's to attend that biometrics? Or
yeah, I'd show up. If nothing else, it's good faith. I think they'll say you don't need to be here. They'll probably say that. I'd be surprised. I mean, unless maybe every now and then your biometrics don't take, and they don't really even realize it while you're there. So there may be a chance that she has to do it again, but I think more likely it was just a computer glitch.
Okay, then. All right. Thank you. Next question. I'm currently in Florida. With the new laws affecting immigrants, I have a pending I-130 and I-485. Am I in any form of like immediate danger with all the news that the governor is putting out, with all the new rules the governor is putting out right now?
Well, I have to say that I'm not paying attention on a state by state basis what each state is doing. When did you enter the United States?
I entered in 2021.
And what kind of a visa did you have?
H1B. H2B, sorry, H2B.
H2B. Okay. So first of all, I would keep proof that I've been in the United States for more than 2 years with me at all times. That's the most important thing. I would
Okay.
also, you have receipt notices for the I-130 and the 485?
Yes, I do.
I would keep a copy of those with me and a copy of my marriage certificate. And I would keep all that with me. That should be all that you need.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Jim, for all you do. You put my heart at rest. Thank
That's
you.
that's what I try to do. I'm thinking about changing the name of the show to Immigration Therapy 101.
That will work.
Have a good day.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. All right. All right. I think we got some questions over in TikTok land. Let's see. All right. Verns. How long after you submit a motion to reopen do you hear back from USCIS? That can take a year. So I'm not a big fan of motions to reopen. Most likely, I'm going to recommend to either sue them or start over. Username 145 from TikTok says, my wife is a U.S. citizen and I'm Canadian. We both live in Canada. Can I apply for a green card from Canada? Well, you would apply for an immigrant visa is the answer to that question. Your spouse, the U.S. citizen, would file an I-130 petition, and that would be pending at USCIS for 14 to 16 months. Then it would go to the National Visa Center. Your wife would have to show that she has enough ties and are properly domiciled in the United States. And then eventually, once they're happy, you get scheduled for an interview in Montreal. Probably take about 2+ years. And our third question from TikTok, Dreamliner Captain. My residence since shows the wrong date, but never noticed as it was very close to my date of birth. What to do? Well, Dreamliner Captain, you have to figure out, is the reason my green card is incorrect my fault or the government's fault? If it's the government's fault, and when you filled out your application for your green card, you gave them the date. Oh, I guess it must be their fault, right? Because that's their date that's not a date you provided. So that was their mistake. So you need to file an I-90, and you should check the box that says you don't have to pay for it because it was their mistake. So do not send them the original green card until they ask for it. They will ask for it at the end when you're close to a decision on the replacement green card. So hold on to that bad boy until they ask for it. Harsh Deep is next. Hello, Harsh Deep. Harsh Deep, you're on mute. Harsh Deep's out of here. A swing and a miss. Let's go to Ved. Hello, Ved.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yep. So I'm on F1 student visa right now, and I'm married to a U.S. citizen, and I have OPT currently going on, and we filed in last January for adjustment of status, I-130 and 765. And last year, me and my spouse were traveling to New York for her work, and by mistake, I crossed a double white line for HOV lane, and the officer caught me, and I got 6 tickets. I don't know why he gave me 6 tickets, like it was a moving violation. And I can mention it's like an improper lane use, unsafe passing on right, unsafe passing, crossing hazardous marking, unsafe lane change, and uh, like obey traffic control device something.
Holy
And
shit!
yeah,
You really made that officer mad somehow.
I don't know. I just crossed the double white line, and he gave me like 6 tickets. And this was the first time I was pulled over, so I don't know what to like talk and how to communicate with them. But after noticing that it was 6 tickets, going into on the research online, and when I came back to Texas from New York, the ticket were generated in New York, but my driving license from was from Texas,
Sure.
and and so I called Nassau, the county where I got the tickets, and
Uh-huh.
they told me that we can only reduce your tickets from like 6 tickets to 3 tickets. You have to pay, yeah,
Yes. Yes.
you have to pay $826, and there would be 3 driving points on your license. And
Shit. Did you hire a lawyer?
no,
Oh, you should have. Those 3 points are going to be a killer. You're going to pay out the ass for insurance for a long time because of that.
oh no, it was on the driving license, not on the insurance.
No, but the driver's license reports that to the insurance companies
Oh, but
when you when
we
you come
bought
up
the
for renewal. Huh?
we bought the insurance, but it didn't went up.
Okay, good. So what's the question?
So my question is, on the 17th January, I filed for the green card. They received it on the 17th, and on the 18th, we went for the long weekend to Smoky Mountains, and I got one more speeding ticket.
My brother, can we have the U.S. citizen drive for a while until you get your green
Yeah,
card?
that's what we are doing right now.
Okay, good. All
And
right. So now you got
I
another
had
two.
I had a lawyer for this one, and they're going to like try to avoid my and dismiss the case. But I have already mentioned all the 6 tickets and dismissal and the disposal of all the tickets in the 485 because it was more than $500.
Yep.
And I have also stated all the like explanation and everything in the in the 485 form. So do you think like it would be a problem for me in my form?
I think they're going to give you a hard time. They're going to think you're somebody that is sort of reckless and doesn't like to follow the rules. But I think it's certainly still an approvable case. Are you
Like,
there?
yeah, I'm here. I thought you were saying more. So it's like an approval case. If we get
It's
an
an
interview, I can
approvable.
explain the situation totally. And
Yep.
it was on the highway. I don't know why even the officer gave me like pedestrian walking on the highway. He gave me the ticket of pedestrian walking.
But you were driving?
I'm sorry.
You were driving?
Yeah, I was driving.
Hmm. Well, make sure, see, what does your lawyer say about that? That seems weird.
I'm talking about the tickets which I received last year. The 6 tickets
The
I'm
six
talking.
ticket.
Yeah,
Oh, he just made up some extra tickets for you. I think you're
yeah.
gonna be fine. I think you're gonna be fine, Ved. Good luck, buddy. Okay.
Okay, alrighty. Thank you.
Yep. All right. All right. That was interesting. 6 tickets. I've never known someone to get 6 tickets at once. Have you guys? Robert says maybe he should take driver's ed. I just think he should stop driving. That's what I would say. Just stop driving. Let's go to Joey. Hello, Joey.
Hello, Jim. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How you doing?
Good. Thank you. That was insane. 6 tickets. Wow.
Like I
Anyway,
said, he must have really pissed the officer off. Sometimes if you don't pull over right away, that's when that happens.
I am in the middle of fighting a speeding ticket, and the attorney I hired is pretty good. I think I'm gonna get a dismissal.
I have a
Uh,
friend who's a lawyer. All he does, and he makes a shitload of money. All he does is DUI defense, and he tries like every case, and he's always able to show that the officer doesn't really know how the machine really works, and then people win. It's crazy. He charges like $25,000. It's nuts.
yeah, it's crazy.
Anyway, what's up? What do you got going on,
Uh,
Joey?
well, let me just zoom it up. So I went from an asylum claim to being put in removal to marrying a U.S. citizen to later on filing a VAWA case.
Oh man,
And so
doesn't sound good.
yeah, so it's um currently have a pending VAWA and a pending adjustment. But I also have what they call the prima facie determination.
Yep.
And recently, my attorney submitted a prosecutorial discretion request. This is before Donald Trump.
Sure.
And
That'll
so
make
my question is, what are you seeing in terms of the new administration accepting this request? And if they don't accept to join the motion to dismiss my case in court, what else can it possibly do?
well, you'd have to litigate out whether you get a green card in court. So you have the prima facie determination. Was your 485 filed with the I-130, or did you file a 485 in immigration court, or do you not have a 485 on file at all?
The 45 was filed recently with the VAWA.
With USCIS?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know if that was the right thing to do. If you were already in removal, the 45 should have been filed in the immigration court.
Oh well, that was the plan originally, but I switched attorneys because I was not happy.
Okay.
So you know how it is when you
In
switch
answer to your
attorneys.
what we're hearing is that ICE is not joining in any motions to terminate, and that judges aren't granting them. So I think it's going to be tough. I think it's just going to be a long, long, slow haul until, I don't know. Do you have a pending court date?
Yeah, individual hearing is August next year.
So that's probably nothing will happen before then, if I had to guess.
So okay, so let me ask you this. If I get to the individual hearing, um, can I present this proof to the judge, and is he able to grant that request, or do I still have to go through with the whole individual hearing based on the asylum thing?
Well, I mean, that'll be a decision for you and your lawyer to make which one to proceed on. The judge probably won't be inclined to proceed on both, especially if they think there's a route to relief for you. I've never done a VAWA adjustment in court, so I don't know overall the strategy. I don't know if it's going to work or not. So I think you're just going to have to rely on your attorney for what they say and make sure that whatever they say, they put it all in writing about what the plan is.
Okay, yeah, because my intent is to hopefully get a dismissal and just pursue my green card with USCIS, because I have a much stronger case,
Sure.
much stronger case with VAWA, and less stronger with the asylum.
Good luck, Joey.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yep, for sure. I wanted to highlight Julian's note here. Donald Trump's talk of a special gold permanent resident card is absurd. All economic permanent residents are limited in number by statute. Trump knows nothing about congressional powers. And then somebody asked something else, and Julian said, I think Ashraf or somebody was asking about it, and Julian said, where is it? I like this. About Donald Trump talking bollocks. Yes, exactly. So I did a LinkedIn post about this. So listen, people, we've got enough to worry about with changes that are actually happening, right? So I spend zero time thinking about the crazy things that Donald Trump says when it comes to immigration. As I mentioned in my LinkedIn post this morning, Trump said during the campaign that anybody that graduates from a U.S. university should get a green card. Should just be automatic. Like, that's just how it should be. Now, of course, his campaign ran away from that comment the next day, and it, of course, is never going to happen. So the one thing those people like Trump and those who support him forget is that we already have laws, right? And we already have an investor program. And if they want to change that to let his Russian oligarch friends buy a green card for $5 million, they're going to have to go to Congress and change the law. He can't just make up a whole new category for immigrants to come to the United States by pulling it out of his ass. He doesn't have that power. So I suggest that we ignore him for the most part and pay attention to what the people that are implementing Project 2025 are actually doing. So these carrots that Donald Trump is throwing out there, it's all just a smokescreen. while they're just rounding people up and trying to deport as many people as possible. So the laws can certainly be changed, but until there's legislation that's been drafted, gone through committee, gone to the Senate, gone to the House, then that's when I'll start paying attention to it. In the meantime, I would just ignore him until there's actually something to work on. Jonathan is here. Hello, Jonathan.
Hey, Jim, how are you?
Good. What's up?
So after more than 2.5 years of filing a family-based adjustment, I got invited to an interview. Sorry, baby just woke up. I'm not sure how far we'll get.
That's okay.
So first of all, I have to say something which won't surprise anybody, which is Jim was right. The online portal had shown step 3 or 4 under my progress, attend interview if necessary, as complete. But they've now walked that back, and online it's showing as I need to attend the interview with 17 months to go, having been down to 9 months. So basically, the online portal is like nonsense. But you've always said that. My question for you is 2 questions. Number 1 is I filed the medical with my application, and now it's been more than 2 years. So do I need to get a new medical to go into my interview with?
I would.
So just go get an updated one and take it in with me and say it's been more than 2 years. Here's your updated one.
Yeah, because if it's more than 2 years, that was before the rule that those things. Oh, where Jonathan disappeared. I guess his kid hung up the phone. Jonathan, yeah, I would redo the medical because you don't want the case to get hung up because you don't have the medical. Now you can probably go to the same doctor and say, hey, you charged me a bunch of money. Can I just get a new one? That's what I would sort of focus on. All right. God bless is. Oh, no, God bless is gone. Kick them out. G, if you turn off your camera, I will pull you up after I talk to. Oh, G's here. Okay. Hello, G.
Hi, Jim. Thank you for accepting us. So I'm here with my friend. She's listening. This question is for her. We are international students, and her visa that she came with was 2 years, and it has expired. Her daddy has booked a flight for her in April to go back to Nigeria to renew her visa. And I was advising her this is wrong move because she's still in status, but she's insisting her daddy says she needs to go and renew her visa. So we're here to listen to your advice.
You mean she believes and her dad believes that she has no choice, that she has to come back and get a new stamp. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
That's incorrect. You can stay in the United States forever if you're on an F1, as long as you maintain your status and have an updated I-20. So when they admit you, the F1 visa is one of a kind. Well, I guess there's a couple other ones, M1s and a couple other ones, where you can be admitted for duration of status. So as long as you maintain your status by not working, going to school full time, carrying a full course load, all that stuff, you can stay here long past the time that you get your stamp in your passport. And I would say not only does she not have to go, I would go beyond that and say she should not go, because right now we're seeing an uptick in people getting stuck outside the United States. So I think daddy's wrong, and she should stay right here until she's much further along in her immigration journey.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
That's it?
Yes.
See you, G.
Bye.
See you, side character. All right. F is here. Okay, so before I pull up F, I just want to say I read this great Charles Dickens book called Little Dorrit. It's really just a great book. And Amani and I are now watching the BBC version of Little Dorrit. It's like 14 episodes. It has Claire Foy in it, who played the first Queen Elizabeth in The Crown. I think she was first, yeah. And then it has this guy named Matthew McFadden. He was on what's that show called? Succession. He was Tom. He was Shiv's husband, and he plays Mr. Clennam. It's just great. But there's a character on there. They refer every now and then to this person named Mr. F, and then there's Mr. F's aunt. Charles Dickens is really good at naming characters and making them memorable. And there's this mean lady named Mr. F's aunt, and that's all they ever call her. They just call her Mr. F's aunt. And it just makes me laugh. And so now we have F here. Hello, F.
Hey, James. Good morning. Can you hear me?
How are you? Yeah, go ahead.
Good. How are you?
Great.
So this is the guy who mistakenly registered to vote. I talked to you a couple weeks ago
Okay.
because of
Your girlfriend,
incorrectly.
your wife or your girlfriend dragged you to the voter place, right?
Yes, that is correct. Yes.
Yep.
So I think I've made up my mind. I think I'm going to apply for naturalization.
Good.
I am going to, obviously, I'm talking to different lawyers,
Uh-huh.
but I have proof of all of the form that I filled out. I have proof of the cancellation, and I have proof also of the letter that they sent me
Yep.
saying that the registration had been canceled. My question is, like, what would be the worst case scenario if I apply? Like,
Worst case scenario is we think you voted, we think you registered to vote on purpose, we think you did this all on purpose. We are going to deny your citizenship case, we're going to take away your green card, and we're going to put you in deportation. That's worst case scenario. Do I think that's going to happen? I do not think that's going to happen. Because
even though
you didn't vote, and in my mind you have a pretty strong case for how you withdrew it right away, and you have the documentation. A lot of people who call me don't have such documentation, didn't do such a good job of timely withdrawal, so I think you're fine.
Okay. Even though of this current administration and the okay. So the other question I have is I have a letter, kind of like just my statement of how the events occurred. And also I don't know if this is helpful or not, but I had my wife also write something as well, like the events in her, like in her point of view. Do you think that is something that is required, or do you think that would help at all?
I would not submit that. I would bring both of them with me to the interview, but really it's all going to come down to your testimony at the interview. Having a letter from your wife is good.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have that notarized if you're going to bring that to your interview. I would not submit it right away. I don't think we need to go in there screaming our heads off like we're really, really scared. I think we have to go in there sort of confidently. Yeah, I'm right. I made a mistake. I withdrew it. It got withdrawn. I never voted. It's over. It's done. I would not. Have you ever heard that expression from Shakespeare? Thou doth protest too much. So sometimes people go into those interviews like a crazy person with their hair on fire saying, oh my God, I'm really sorry. I'm glad we're here for my naturalization interview. I really got to tell you about the fact that I registered to vote, and then I figured out that I wasn't supposed to, and then I withdrew it, and then I sent a letter, and then they sent me a letter, and then can I become a citizen? Right? So I don't want you to do that, right? I want you to go, Mr. Chill, right? Like, you've got this shit in your bag. If you need it, you pull it out. But I would submit the evidence of. Well, that's a good question. Yeah, I would submit the evidence. I mean, pretty much the letter and the time frame of the registration, the withdrawal, and the acknowledgement of withdrawal. Those are all going to be dated documents.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say, have you ever registered to vote? Yes. Have you ever voted? No. And then I would say, see attached documentation where I accidentally voted. I mean, obviously, again, I think you need a lawyer. I accidentally voted, or I accidentally registered to vote. I immediately withdrew it, and they acknowledged it. Please see attached exhibits A, B, and C, and then go from there.
Okay, but just the copies of the forms, but not the letter, right? The letter that I wrote.
Not your. I don't want you to provide them testimony.
Okay.
Until you're actually sitting in the box.
Okay. And do you think, and I don't know if this is allowable or not, but can my wife attend the interview as well, or
are you calling on the 3-year rule or the 5-year rule?
The 3-year rule, or no, 5-year.
5-year?
Yes.
I'd have her come and sit outside, and then if anybody wants to add, it's not going to go that far.
Okay. Okay. All right. And the last question I have is, I completely forgot to change my address with USCIS. Do you think that would be a problem?
I would do that, and then I'd wait 5 days, and then I'd apply for my naturalization with that address.
Okay, so you would change the address first and then apply?
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, sounds good. All right. Thank you, Jim.
Good luck, buddy.
Thank you.
That's our old friend F. All right. Rais is, oh, man, people are dropping off. So there's going to be some space in the waiting room. These earlier shows are probably always your best bet. Raisa left. So let's go to Lola, and then need help. I'm going to get to you after Lola, but you got to turn off your camera. Hello, Lola.
Hi, Jim.
How are
been a
you?
while since I talked to you.
Awesome.
I'll just give you a background of my case.
Okay.
I had an asylum claim 25 years ago. I was granted withholding due to the 1-year rule.
Yes, ma'am.
And so I was on withholding, getting my EAD until my son came of age and sponsored me for
Yes.
green card. And I got my green card last May.
Awesome. Oh, that makes me very happy.
Thank you. Thank you for all the help, because
Sure,
I
sure.
was my own attorney and you were my backup guy. Now, I want to travel back to my country, and I'm not sure whether they would consider me an asylee because I once applied for asylum, that it would work against me, that I've gone back.
So I know that it's been a long time since you applied for asylum. But when you applied for asylum, you swore under oath that it wasn't safe for you to go back to your home country.
Yes, it wasn't.
Is it safe now?
That administration is no longer the same. There's a new president. That one died.
But you didn't answer my question. You said something else. Is it safe now?
Yes, it is safe because it's under a new rule. They are
Okay.
not doing the things that they were doing when I left.
Okay. So I can't talk about this show Mo that I like, but if you watch the second season of Mo, this actually comes up. Sorry, Laura. But what I'm saying is I really don't want you to go until you get your citizenship.
Okay.
Because here's the deal. When you come back, it's not that they're going to think of you as an asylee. It's that you swore under oath it wasn't safe for you to go back to that country. And when you come back to the United States, you could be dealing with a really mean CBP officer who thinks you committed some kind of fraud in applying for asylum, even though you got your green card through your son.
Uh-huh.
Does that
Even though the regime is no longer.
Well, here's my question. Do you want to be having that argument in a little bitty waiting room called secondary inspection where you're worried about them not letting you back into the United States? That's
No.
what I'm worried. That's my question. To me, I don't want to have that conversation, at least until I have my US passport, man.
Okay, I hear you. Thank you, Jim.
Bye, Lola. Take care.
You too. Bye.
How about that? She applied for asylum 25 years ago. She got withholding, which ain't much. It just means we're not going to deport you and we're going to let you get a work card. That's all withholding is, right? So then her son turns 21 and he applies. Now, that's some good lawyering, because what has to happen when you have withholding and you have a 21-year-old son, they have to file that I-130. Then you have to go to the immigration court and say, hey, Lola was ordered deported. Because when you get withholding, you have a deportation order. I'm coming back to TikTok, Hina. Just give me 1 second. You've got to do all that. And then you've got to get the government to agree to reopen the case, and then to set aside the deportation order, and then to adjust over at USCIS. So that is really hard to do. We've only done it a few times, and we love to work on those kinds of cases. They're really hard. And of course, now with Trump not agreeing to reopen anything, it's going to be well nigh impossible. So big ups, as our friend Donna would say, to Lola's immigration attorney, because that's pretty darn good. All right, to TikTok we go. But before we do, we're still giving plugs to Mo. Laura said she loves Samir, who's Mo's brother. That's my son Ibrahim's favorite character too. And I think Samir has a really nice story arc in season 2. So I don't know how far you are, but Samir is great. Oh, they're not making another season, Joe? How do you know? Oh, I didn't know that. That was the last one. Well, that makes sense because of the way it sort of ended. But I didn't know there wasn't going to be another one. Oh, we'll be sad at our house. We love that show. All right, here we go. Got a lot over here on TikTok land, so let's do it. Balthazar, married for over 10 years, 2 kids. My wife is a U.S. citizen. I crossed the border. I asked a lawyer, and he was charging $14,000. He or she was charging $14,000, so I didn't process. I would say 14,000 is probably pretty reasonable. It's more than we charge, but I would revisit that issue because you got nothing, Balthazar, if you don't get cooking. Oh, here's someone on TikTok called Selling Like Hotcakes. What's the situation for a denied waiver because of lying about marriage when I got my visa? Uh-oh. He's Jordanian in the USA, but his application has been pending because of the lie. Well, selling like hotcakes, I'd like to see the waiver denial. That's what I like to see. It sounds like you haven't convinced them that there's enough hardship. J-Lo. Oh, J-Lo. J-Lo's here. J-Lo, we have a J-Lo in our office too. If you have a 10-year green card, my husband passed away, can I still apply for a citizenship? Green card approved after 3 years. J-Lo, I'm very sorry about your husband. You will certainly be able to apply for citizenship, but unfortunately, you have to wait the full 5 years. So I had a client who actually got approved for citizenship, and his spouse passed away before his ceremony, and he had to reapply. So your spouse, you have to still be married, and your spouse still has to be alive on the day that you naturalize. So that's going to require you to wait the full 5 years from the start date on your green card. To Slim 843 Teacha, my mom filed for me, came here in 2021. I'm 40 years old. When can I apply for my citizenship? So it's going to be 5 years from the start date on your green card. You can apply 3 months early, but basically 5 years from the start date on your green card. I assume you already got your green card. It doesn't say, Jasleen. The Royals, is it safe to travel with my refugee travel document after receiving approval asylum? I'm telling everybody not to leave the United States unless they're a citizen for these first 6 or 8 months of the Trump administration. I wouldn't go anywhere. And I certainly wouldn't go back to my old country. U.S. citizen fiance allegedly has not completed last 3 years of taxes, hourly employee adjustment of status. What are the options? Well, this is interesting. U.S. citizen fiance allegedly has not completed last 3 years. Do you not believe them? You don't believe them, Gautier? You think they're lying to you? The fact of the matter is, you cannot process a green card case for adjustment if the U.S. citizen hasn't filed their taxes. It's just a flat rule. It's one of the ways they make you file your taxes. King Salvi, $. Since USAS is taking so long, can I apply for my N400 if my probation ended in 2021? Well, I guess it would depend if you're applying on the 3-year rule or the 5-year rule. With the crime, you always got to make sure it's not a deportable offense. So I would say, King Salvi, that you want to get a little bit more details on that. All right, when I come back, I'll get to Flawless. Let's take a call and go to Need Help. Hello. Hello, Need Help. All right, Need Help. Must have got the help they needed. Peter is here. Hello, Peter.
Good day, Jim. How are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
Thank you. Good. I'm a little bit upset since once you was talking about withholding of removal and how hard it's right now to get adjusted, because I do have, I was granted withholding of removal, and my question is, I'm married to, my wife is, she has a green card, so, and she will be only, she will be eligible to naturalize in 16 months. So is it better to file? She will file for me like the I-130 now, or when she will be naturalized and will have citizenship?
I would say, she can file the I-130 and only the I-130, and I would go ahead and do that because you need that on file. And having a longer, if it takes a long time, then once she becomes a citizen, we can let them know that she's a citizen and tell them to hurry up. So I would, given your situation, I would get that on file sooner rather than later. I wouldn't wait till she becomes a citizen, but you can only file the I-130.
Mm-hmm. And so the situation with the reopening of the case, so is it this hard right now? They're not opening? Like, what's?
it'll be almost impossible.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What country did you get withholding from?
Uzbekistan.
So that's not high on their target list. So I don't think they're gonna like revoke your withholding. But you know everything's at risk right now. So I would file the I-130, let that play itself out. I mean that's gonna take until she becomes a citizen. So that's 2.5 years from now. Then you're pretty far into the Trump administration. Then we just wait and see how things are then and take our next move.
Mm-hmm. And like during this process, there is a chance that I can lose my withholding, right? When they reopen, if yeah,
It's true. It's true. Any day of the week, they could get rid of your withholding for sure.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the first step it will be just to she will file the I-130, right? And we just wait, and then once it's going to be approved, then we can hire a lawyer, right? And you also do handle these kind of the cases.
Yes, absolutely. Now I would say, okay, so Peter, you are under the custody of the immigration court, which means, and your marriage occurred after you were ordered deported. So
after 10 years.
Yeah. So what I mean is, so there's a huge difference if you get married before you get put into immigration court or after. Like one time this guy came to see me and he knew he was going into ICE custody on Monday. And I said, hey, can you guys go get married on Saturday? Because if you get married after you're in removal, you have to prove your marriage is real at a higher standard. They think your marriage is only to get you out of your immigration problems. So I think you actually need a lawyer now to help you with the marriage case, because you're not like every other case. They're going to be big time sus on your case because you were in removal. You have a removal order, and they think that's a high incentive to file a fake marriage. So you've got to prove your case much stronger than the regular person.
Thank you. And one more question. I heard you was once you said that if person worked without authorization, right, when he got married, it's gonna be like dismissed or like forgiven, right? And you mentioned if he marries a U.S. citizen, what about if you marry a legal green card holder? The same thing or no?
No, but haven't you been getting a work card through your withholding?
Yeah, of course.
So what are you worried about? The work
I
that
mean,
happened
before, for example, before.
Yeah.
When I was
I mean, you're not going to adjust until she becomes a citizen. So this doesn't matter, and that's the least of your problems.
Oh, okay, I see. And one more question, the last question regarding the question that you mentioned yesterday. Have you been ever detained or cited for anything? So if, for example, during other applications, right, like EAD and other stuff, you didn't know, for example, you just had regular parking tickets or like traffic tickets, and you didn't mark this, right? Can they use this against in a new application? Let's say you didn't mention that you didn't check this box.
What was the prior application that wasn't
like EAD, for example?
I think that for traffic stuff, they're not going to get too worked up over it. As long as you start disclosing it and then you're consistent in disclosing it, I don't think that's going to be a big deal.
Okay. Thank you.
Again, Peter, you got much bigger issues than that.
Yeah, I'm just Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Bye, Peter. See you, buddy. All right. Let's go back to the questions from TikTok. Flawless says, I submitted my I-589 on December 22nd, 2024. I haven't heard anything else. No receipt notice? I would check to see if you have proof of delivery. If you have proof of delivery, I'd start bothering USCIS and saying, where's my receipt notice? Ahmed Hamdard, 23. I'm still waiting for my N400 interview for 6 months. Normal? Yeah, I would say normal, especially if you're in a busy place. Rahimis, can green card holders be deported because of felony DUI 5-year probation? Maybe. IMK, are people getting arrested at check-ins or are they getting their deportations then? Yes and yes. Juan Martinez, my biometrics notice was done on January 2nd. My EAD hasn't arrived. Is it taking that long? I'm in Florida. Yes, I think it is. I don't know. Check over in YouTube on the show and people will know how long EADs are coming. And I guess it probably depends. Oh, it looks like you're doing an adjustment. Okay. Do you prepare for marriage-based green card interviews? Yes, we do. Those are one of our favorite things to do. What will be the best time to apply? Yesterday. The best time to apply is yesterday. Sexy Mama 80. Hey-o. Why is my daughter's I-90 taking so long to be approved? She's over 21. Oh, they're ridiculous. They're taking over a year to approve those things. Natasha says, can I divorce my cheating husband if I have a pending I-751? Now, that's the question of the day. Can I divorce his cheating ass if I have a pending 751? Natasha, I'm sorry. I shouldn't make fun. The answer is yes. Yeah, so you can file your own 751. You should file your own 751. You probably need to talk to a divorce lawyer and an immigration lawyer at the same time so they can work in tandem. But you don't have to rely on him if he's catting around in order to file a new 751. The one thing you need to keep in mind is sometimes with a cheating U.S. husband, you don't want a U.S. citizen husband, you don't want to make a huge deal out of it because then they might be saying, well, is this a real marriage or is that his real girlfriend? But yeah, happy to help if you need help on that one. Maria Jose. Oh, Maria Jose. One of our favorite people here at the office is named Maria Jose. We call her Maho. Can a person that came through the border and was paroled apply for an EB-2? That's going to be really, really tough. I would say it's going to be almost impossible to pull off. In theory, yes, but almost impossible. How about this one? Canella says, my husband did not know he was not a U.S. citizen. My husband did not know that he was not a U.S. citizen. Oh, when I read this first, I thought it said, my husband did not know that he was a U.S. citizen. That's every immigration lawyer's dream, is to figure out that somebody's a citizen when they're trying to deport them. So my husband did not know he was not a U.S. citizen. Is there any way around the permanent bar? Yes, but it's very, very difficult, very, very hard. And they have to spend a lot of time outside the United States before they even have the right to apply. Nurse Laura says, tell him he's a dirty bastard as you hand him the paperwork. I would agree with that. Oh, the Sphinx is here, all the way from Egypt. Hello, Sphinx.
Hey, Jim. How are you doing?
Great. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much. First of all, Ramadan Mubarak for you and Amani.
Thank you so much.
All right. So I'm going to try and make that as quick as possible. Actually, I have a couple of questions on behalf of my friend who just got married recently to a U.S. citizen.
Mm-hmm.
And long story short, he is not filing enough on his taxes. So when they sent all the evidence that they're supposed to be sending, he sent that they are filing $27,000, and then recently she just got an RFE, a request for evidence for the adjustment of status about the I-864.
Sure.
And right now the question is, my friend, she has some money in her account. She got around like $50,000 sitting in her account, and she got that through her family sending her money and friends, and she's not working, but she got that in her account because she is on an F1 status currently. So I don't want to make it very complicated. The question is that the evidence that she needs to send right now, is it better to just get a joint sponsor, or if she can justify, and how she can justify that money sitting in the bank account is going to be enough?
Does she want to have a green card?
She's not. No, she's waiting on it.
Does she want to get her green card?
Yeah.
Can you see my screen?
Okay. I was not looking. Yeah.
Co-sponsor. She could spend a year fighting with them, and we had somebody yesterday get a denial because they're fighting over whether or not enough money is in their bank account when they should just go get a co-sponsor. So one of my favorite expressions in life is, would you rather be right or would you rather be happy? So the corollary to that is, would you rather have your green card or would you rather be right? So just get a co-sponsor. It's so much easier.
Okay. One more question. How much is that co-sponsor should be making?
So here's how I think about it in my mind. Everybody yells at me on TikTok when I lay it out this way, but this is how I lay it out in my mind. $31,000 if they're a single person. If they're married, add $5,500. and for each kid they have, add another $5,500. So that's what they need on their adjusted gross income. When you are talking about the sponsor or the co-sponsor, that's how I think about it. I know I'm safe with $31,000 plus $5,500 for each person on the tax return.
Okay. So now I get it. Yeah. So it depends on the co-sponsor. Depends on his status. If he's married, he got kids, then we do the math from there. Correct?
Yeah, you always go off line 21, adjusted gross income, and you do it off for each. You got to look at the person as a whole. So, and I would say if it's too close to call, find somebody else.
Okay. So I can have more than one co-sponsor.
No. Well,
No?
you could, but you can't add people together. The one person has to be able to stand on their own as the co-sponsor. So what I'm saying is, don't waste your time with the co-sponsor who's not actually eligible.
No, I understand. Okay. Last question. That co-sponsor, when they present the evidence, should it be just like the W-2 and whatever they make, or should they also include the like the pay stubs, or like what kind of evidence is needed? Is it just the transcript or the W-2 plus the?
Luckily, we don't spend too much time on this show talking about affidavit of support because it's so fucking boring. But the answer to your question is they need their tax returns, their tax transcripts, their W-2s, and their proof of income and their proof of current employment.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much.
For all 3 years.
Okay, perfect. That's amazing. Thank you so much, Jim.
Bye, buddy.
You.
All right, have a good one.
Bye, side character. See you. She was listening because she read the co-sponsor before he did. All right, let's go to Love Hate. Hello. Love Hate.
Hello, Jim. Hello, Attorney Jim. Good afternoon.
How are you?
I'm hanging in there, and thank you for picking me up after 3 months of waiting. Thank you. So, to give you a little background of my story, like last year, month of June, we hired this immigration document preparer, and multiple times I communicated.
Boo.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right.
So I had a conversation with her multiple times, asking her, can we use credit card to pay all these USCIS forms? And then she said, no, it has to be through a money order. So to cut long story short, my husband paid all the USCIS forms directly to her, like the 485, 765, including, would you believe, Attorney Jim, including medical, we paid her, biometrics, we paid her. My husband paid all of this. So along the way, something came out because I got very upset with her because she gave me this stupid immigration advice saying that because I was about to become out of status. I came here on a J1 visa for teachers, and my visa back then was expiring last year. Oh my God, I'm sorry.
This doesn't sound good.
Yeah. So she gave me this advice: go home to your country before 180 days, but we will have to withdraw your husband's I-130 petition. I said, why do we have to do that? She said, we just have to say things did not work out between the two of you. I'm like, oh no, that's not true, because we are getting stronger. So my husband on that time, he was still a green card holder. While watching your shows, you can add him on your list because your videos help us in order for him to get his citizenship just very recently. And we hired also another lawyer to help us with all his documents. So thank God he's now a U.S. citizen, just last February 14th.
Great.
So now, Jim, I told my husband we will have to withdraw or get all the money that we paid her because it's unused. But she has been ignoring us, not receiving our call, not responding our email. And I'm stuck because all this money that my husband paid her is coming from his hard work. And it's not easy to get back all this money. And we already paid her professional fee of $2,500. So I don't understand why she's not willing to return the money for my 612E home residency waiver. It's with her, 1,100. 765, it's with her, 260. 485, 1440, it's with her. Medical 600, it's with her. Biometric 60, it's with her. And then DS 3035, 150, it's with her. So to sum this up, it's not easy for us to gather all those money one more time. So now my question to you, Attorney Jim, is this something that falls under immigration fraud, or is your firm or you handle this kind of case? Because I'm losing hope. I feel like I just want to go home to my country, but I also love my husband.
So, so just to be clear, and I'm sorry that you're so sad.
Thank you.
I don't want you to say her name or anything, but
Yes,
what state is her office in?
South Carolina.
Okay. And is it a storefront? Like, can you go knock on the door? Is there somebody there?
No, actually, she was introduced to me by a common friend, and she is a Juris Doctor student.
Who is the friend or the person?
No, the person, the immigration preparer. She's that's why we got impressed, including my husband, because she talks about all these immigration laws, because she's a law student. And
How do you know she's a law student?
she told us that. And one time she posted on her Facebook that her admission slip from this law school, that she is now currently enrolled as a JD student.
Does she have
And I know the school.
Does she have a website?
I'm sorry?
Does she have a website?
No, she doesn't have. She doesn't, but I got the receipt. She gave us the receipt of the money that she got from my husband, and the name of their office is there. Her husband is.
Hold on. Don't say the name of the office. I don't want to get sued.
Okay.
You and I can talk about that later. So, I guess what I'm mostly concerned about is the J1, right? And so you have the 2-year return home requirement.
Yes, I have that, and my lawyer already filed that last January 21st. It was supposed to be filed before my 180 days, but because of the funds, so we needed to hang in first for a few months.
What's the basis of your J1 waiver?
It's extreme hardship. That time married to a green card holder, because, like I said back then, my husband was a green card holder just yet.
What country are you from?
Asia, Philippines in particular.
Okay. So, how much money did you pay this lady altogether?
My husband, according to the receipt, is 7,000, and then I paid her also 1,900 as advance payment for her professional fee, because she said, I cannot get started with your case unless you pay me all this. And we believed her.
Do you know the law school that she's allegedly attending?
Yes, I know.
And is she also from the Philippines, or is she?
Yes, she is, but she's married to she became a US citizen also just recently, maybe November of last year.
See, if she's going to law school and she wants to be a lawyer, that's your pressure point, because if you report her to the bar for what she did, she's not gonna be able to become a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
When was the last time you actually heard from her?
I think that was November 2024, wherein I requested the return of the money of 1,900 and 1,100 for my waiver, and she made an agreement that they're gonna send it to me on the 30th of December, but including my documents that I submitted that I wanted back. But she only sent me the documents, but the checks that she took a screenshot with my name on it, my husband's name on it, she did not include in the mail.
So she has no public facing website, Facebook page, no nothing.
Only on her Facebook. She would post like her company's name and then what she does, but she has no website.
So, and you're talking about just her personal Facebook page.
Yes, sir.
What does your friend say who referred you to this person?
She is very upset knowing that the three of us came from the same country, and she wasn't expecting that she would do these things to me.
Usually when people get taken advantage of by a notario, oftentimes they're from the same country.
Oh no.
Yeah. Because you think, oh, they speak the same language, like you said, they wouldn't screw me over.
Yeah, that's why we trusted her so much, because we are from the same country. And worst also why I started getting upset with her. She shared to me waivers of her other clients, in which she shared also my story to our common friend. I said, where is the breach of confidentiality if you are doing this to me and to your other clients? So it's really a mess.
She's not a lawyer, so she can do whatever she wants.
That's the point, Jim. That's why it's also a lesson to all your listeners and viewers right now, that it's better to go hire a lawyer rather than to go cheap with an immigration document preparer, because you never know what's going to happen later.
So $8,000 she has of your money?
More or less 8,900. If I cannot remember on top of my head, but I have all the receipts coming from her, and of course we have bank transactions.
The problem is this sounds to me like a case where you could sue her, you could get a judgment, but then how are you going to collect? Because she's all cash, she's hiding, she's a scam artist. So I just don't know how you ever collect on it.
She's not hiding, actually, Attorney Jim. She is one of the directors in one of the elementary school in her place.
Okay. Can you email me? I'll help you mess with her.
Okay. What will I say in the email? In that way, it gets through you.
Say, this is Love Hate. I was the last caller with Jim on Thursday, and he wants to help me mess with that lady.
All right. Thank you so much, Attorney Jim. Thank you so
hang
much.
in there.
You just do not know how grateful I am today to you. Thank you.
Okay. Hang in there. Very, very sad. Very, very sad. Lots of lessons in there, though. Lots of lessons. Check people out online. Look at their reviews. Don't work with non-lawyers. You have no recourse if they're not a lawyer. Her only recourse might be that lady might be going to law school, right? That would be good. So lots of red flags there. You got to go based on more than what your friend says. Lots and lots of little problems there. But, man, what a sad situation. All right, I got to go. We're over time. We'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow at 2:30, I think. I might change that up a little bit, but probably 2:30 tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow, last day of Shaban, the last month before Ramadan. How about that? All right, everybody. Peace out. Big ups. Later. Thanks, Hina. I'm great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of invasion.